Good evening. Welcome to fifth video lesson of third chapter current electricity. In previous class we have discussed about series and parallel combination of resistors and also the power rating of a bulb. A bulb is rated as 220 volt, 40 watt. A bulb is rated as 220 volt, 40 watt. Another bulb will be rated as 220 volt, 60 watt. Like this. So the meaning of this is, if you give a power input of 220 volt to a bulb, its filament will glow with a brightness, thereby producing a power of 40 watt. Similarly, if you take another bulb and if you give same 220 volt to it, that bulb will glow with a brightness so as to produce a power output of 60 watt. So therefore, generally the rating is denoted in terms of voltages and powers. So therefore, we have a formula P equals to V square by R. Therefore, R equals to V square by P. So these are the two things available for us. One is V, 220 volt, 220 whole square divided by power is what? 40. Then it comes out to be 220 into 220 divided by 40 into 40. Sorry, only 40 watt. So this will cut here. Okay. So this will be this 4 can cut here. 4 5 are 20, 4 5 are 20. So you have 55 into 22. So therefore this is 110 and here is another 110. So 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0. So the resistance of the filament is 1 to 1, 0 ohm. This filament. So its R will be 1 to 1, 0 ohm. This will not be given anywhere in the information. This we need to calculate. Similarly, if you calculate for this bulb, it comes out to be what? 60 here. So R1, this R2 equals to 220 into 220 divided by 60. So this 0 will cut here. So this 2 3 this will be 2110, and this 3 approximately I will cut it as 7 times. So you will get 770 ohm. So which bulb has more resistance? Is 40 watt bulb has more resistance or 60 watt bulb has more resistance? Means 40 watt bulb will have more resistance because its resistance is 110 and its resistance is only 770. So from this formula you also can conclude that, okay, for a given voltage V, this is given voltage V, for a given voltage V, okay, more is the power, less is the resistance, or less is the power, more is the resistance. So 40 watt bulb, so R varies inversely with P, smaller the power, greater the resistance. So the filament of 40 watt bulb will have more resistance as compared to the resistance of a 60 watt bulb filament. Okay, right. So this is the basic information. Of course, you might have studied something about this in class 10th also. Now we are going to do a numerical based on these ratings. Now two bulbs A and B produce powers P1 and P2 when connected to same source. What is the source? Okay, let us be clear. Same source of voltage. That is 220 volt we have seen on the bulb, no? That is called source of voltage. So what is the power dissipated or what is the power produced by them if they are connected, number 1 in series, number 2 in parallel. Right. So two bulbs are there individually when you connect to AC source. one is producing a power output of P1 and other is producing a power output of P2. Suppose both the bulbs now simultaneously connected in series across the same source. Therefore, then what is the total power produced by this combination? So we can solve this like this. So here we have a bulb, right? Here there is another bulb. So this is called A, this is called B. They are connected in series to this one, like this. So as both of them are in series, the same current will flow in them, like this, like this. Now as both of them are in series, we can write this will be R series equals to RA plus RB. Resistance of bulb A plus resistance of bulb B. Okay. But how do you calculate resistance of bulb? We used this formula. P equals to V square by R. This is to be calculated from rating of the bulb. Therefore, resistance of the filament of the bulb R equals to V square by P. I am rearranging the things. Okay. Right. Now, so this implies R1 equals to V square by P1, rather RA, bulb A, V square by P1, and RB, resistance of the second bulb, is V square by P2. So these values we put here. R series equals to RA is nothing but V square by P1 plus RB V square by P2. You can take V square common and here you will get 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. Right? Now, V square you bring onto the left hand side. RS by V square equals to 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. If you write this is V square by R, it will be P. And R by V square will be P. Sorry, R by V square is nothing but 1 by P. So 1 by P, and you are using this for series, that's why we write a subscript S. 1 by PS equals to 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. This is the total power consumed. It is not actually 1 by PS, you require PS. This implies P series equals to P1 P2 divided by P1 plus P2. Now suppose you got 40 watt and 60 watt bulbs. 40 watt and 60 watt bulbs. So the total power given by them will be 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. So this is 24 watt it will come, because 6 4 are 20, 2 zeros and here is 100, both will come. So individually each bulb was producing 40 watt and 60 watt respectively. But when both of them are combined together, it is only 24 watt. That means what? The rating formula says that if you give 220 volt to the bulb, then only it can give you a power output of 40 watt or 60 watt. But when they are connected in series, you know that current will be same but potential will be divided. What is the potential of this source? This source potential was 220 volt. When this 220 volt alone is connected, this 220 volt is connected across only A alone, it will give a power output of P1, that is 40 watt. Am I clear? If this 220 volt alone is connected to bulb A, then the bulb A will produce a power output of 40 watt. If you connect this 220 volt alone to bulb B, then it will produce a power output of 60 watt. Now when both of them are connected in series, this 220 volt will be divided across among them. Now this will not get 220 volt. This also will not get 220 volt. Based on the resistances, more is the resistances, this we have seen yesterday, V equals to V1 plus V2. Voltage will be what divided? How do they divide? In the direct ratio of the resistances. More is the resistance of the filament, more will be the voltage. Across this there will be more voltage, across this there will be a small voltage. but nothing is equal to 220 volt, less than 220 volt. That is the reason why they are unable to produce the power greater than the individual. Okay, so calculate the power consumed by them when they are connected in series means this you have to derive. PS equals to P1 P2 by P1 plus P2. Then the other bit is when they are connected in parallel to the same source. Right. Now we take the bulb. This is one bulb. A. Here is like this. And here we take another bulb. Both of them are connected in parallel to the same source. We learned in the previous class that if they are connected in parallel, the potential difference will remain same. Here there will be V, here there will be V. Now this V equals to 220 volt. Can you tell me what is this value? This also will be 220 volt and this also will be 220 volt. Okay. So each of them are getting what? The rating. Now you see the resistances now. So as they are in parallel, you write 1 by Rp equals to 1 by Ra plus 1 by Rb. Formula for parallel combination. How do you calculate this resistance? What is this resistance? Resistance is the resistance of this filament. So use again P equals to V square by R. So P1 is V square by Ra. This implies Ra equals to V square by P1. So now 1 by Rp equals to 1 by Ra is nothing but V square by P1. V square divided by P1, it will go to the numerator. Plus 1 by V square by P2, it will go to the numerator. So therefore, this is 1 by V square into P1 plus P2. What is there on the LHS? 1 by Rp. Now you bring this side, you will get V square by Rp equals to P1 plus P2. V square by R is nothing but what? Power. So V square by R is nothing but what? Power. We are speaking about parallel. So it will take a subscript P. P parallel equals to P1 plus P2. Okay. So if it is a 40 watt and 60 watt bulb, total comes out to be 100 watt. So this is the reason why we always prefer to connect the bulbs in parallel. Not only bulb, any device. In order to have the maximum power production, we make them in parallel combination. Okay? Because individual bulb is getting its rating voltage, therefore they glow at their own rating of 40 watt and 60 watt. So together they produce a total power of 100 watt. So don't connect the things in series, always prefer them to be connected in what? Parallel. So these two problems are these two bits in a single problem are very important. Okay, right. So note down, if two bulbs are connected in series, then power dissipated by them is PS equals to P1 P2 by P1 plus P2. And if they are connected in parallel, then the power output is P parallel equals to P1 plus P2. Right. Now we go to the next topic, that is nothing but cell, EMF and internal resistance. Cell, EMF and internal resistance. So knowingly or unknowingly, we have been using the cells in the circuits and we are naming it as a battery. Battery is not a single cell. Generally battery will be the series combination of cells, identical cells only. So if you have two cells of 1.5 volt, 1.5 volt, they will make a battery of 3 volt. If you have got three cells of 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, they will make a battery of 4.5 volt. Okay. So those things we are going to discuss now. The cell is nothing but a device that generates energy. Which energy? Electrical energy. Basically, what are the components of this cell means, you have a vessel right? Maybe a glass tumbler, glass vessel, glass jar, in which you take an electrolyte, maybe copper sulfate or sodium chloride. You then take two electrodes, zinc, copper, and so many combinations. Okay, and when you dip this and collect the circuit, what will happen? Electrolysis will begin. What is electrolysis? Dividing of the electrolyte into cations and anions. So one type of ions will move and accumulate on one plate, and opposite ions will move and accumulate on the other plate. So accordingly, you will get a positive electrode anode and a negative electrode cathode. Okay. So when you connect these electrodes in the external circuit, what will happen? A current will flow. So during this process, we have to discuss about what is the meaning of EMF and what is the meaning of internal resistance. Right. Now you see, any cell will be denoted with two electrodes, positive and negative, a big line, and parallel to this there will be a small line. Both of them are parallel. So now this is the connecting wire, this is the connecting wire, plus, minus. I write here on the top E. E stands for what? EMF. EMF means electromotive force. It is not a force, it is going to be an energy, you will see now. Now, within the cell what will happen? What is the direction of EMF means? It is like this. Within the cell, it is from negative terminal to positive terminal. So therefore, this will be giving out always a current I away from the positive terminal. Now, as the ions have to swim in the electrolyte from one electrode to other electrode, during this swimming, they have to encounter the liquid resistance, which is called what? Viscosity. So viscosity offered by this electrolyte depends on its nature, concentration and temperature. So therefore, the swimming of ions from one electrode to other electrode is not easy. They are encountering some opposition force. That opposition force given by this electrolyte to the motion of ions from one electrode to other electrode is known as internal resistance. So therefore, more or less, whether the electrolyte is in the form of paste, as we see in the dry cells, okay, or it is in the form of a liquid like Lange cell or Daniell cell, everywhere the ions have to encounter an opposition by the electrolyte. This opposition offered by an electrolyte to the motion of these ions is known as what? Internal resistance. So, more or less, every cell in reality will have a small resistance which is called what? R. Now this R is now internal resistance. So now if I keep this in a dotted box line, then what will happen? I call it as a cell. So this is my cell. Fine. So now if I take a voltmeter, listen carefully, if I take a voltmeter and connect voltmeter between these two terminals, it will read a value which I call it as what? EMF. Is known as what? EMF. Fine. Now, what I do, I connect a small torchlight bulb or an LED across this cell. If its energy is sufficient to glow this, obviously the bulb will be what? Glowing with some brightness. So it glows because there is a current flowing in it. So this is I, here is I, and this is what I. So let me name it as R is the resistance of filament. Fine. Now, if I take a voltmeter and connect a voltmeter between these 2 points now, the reading will be less than EMF. For example, if this is 1.5 volt, which one? EMF. You can read on the body of a dry cell which you buy from a shop, written as 1.5 volt. That 1.5 volt is its EMF. Right? Now you are going to see another word here. This cell is now connected across a load. So the load is drawing some current from the cell. Therefore, now what you do, you take the same voltmeter and connect across the cell. It will read less than EMF. That means, say, let us say it is 1.2 volt. 1.5 volt is known as EMF, 1.2 volt is known as terminal potential difference or simply potential difference. I repeat, this 1.5 volt is known as EMF and this 1.2 volt is known as terminal potential difference. Okay, EMF is measured when you do not connect any load in the circuit. I repeat, EMF is the voltage available across the terminals of the cell when you do not connect any load in the circuit. Means when cell is not sending any current or when no current is drawn from the cell, the voltage measured across the terminals of a cell is known as EMF. The voltage measured across the terminals of a cell when no current is drawn from it is known as what? EMF. Now this one. The voltage measured across the terminals of the same cell when current is drawn from it is known as potential difference or terminal potential difference of the cell. In general, the terminal potential difference value will be less than the EMF value of the cell. Okay. Now, if you go on changing this, suppose I connect another small bulb. Let us say the source is very energetic to glow any number of bulbs that are connected in what series. What will happen now? The resistance will what? Increase because the filaments are what? In series. Okay. The EMF of the cell will remain same. It will not change because of the load which you have connected. Now earlier it was R, now it is another R is there, now it has become what? 2R. But the terminal potential difference when you measure with the help of the voltmeter will become now 1.3 volt. If I take another one, it will be 1.4 volt. If I take another one, it will be 1.42 volt. If I take another one, it will be 1.44 volt. Remember, this terminal potential difference can never exceed EMF value. Therefore, if you plot a graph between the load which you have connected in the circuit versus EMF, it will be like this. If the cell is having 3 volt, it will always remain as what? 3 volt. Okay. Now, if you draw the same graph between R and V, terminal potential difference 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.4 to 1.44. So this graph will go like this and it will be saturated after some time. Because this is your 1.3, sorry, this is your 3 volt. So the terminal potential voltage cannot exceed this 3 volt. Almost it will be running like this. But it will never touch. It will never touch. So if you identify this difference between EMF and terminal potential difference, then the remaining things will be what? Very easy. So you have a cell bought from the shop, you have voltmeter in your lab. Soon after coming to the lab from the shop, you measure the voltage of the cell with the help of voltmeter. You have seen it as 1.5 volt. Okay, right. Now you have taken a small LED or a torchlight bulb and you have connected that across this bulb. Now you will see the bulb will be glowing. Now take the voltmeter and measure the voltage across the cell. You will read that it will be 1.5 volt. That is called what? Terminal potential difference. So basing on this experimental evidence, we define EMF like this. It is the potential difference measured across the terminals of the cell when no current is drawn from it or when the cell is open circuited. Potential difference, how you define it as the voltage measured across the terminals of a cell when current is drawn from the cell. Okay. Or you also can say the voltage measured across the terminals of the cell when it is in a closed circuit. Closed circuit means current is drawn from the cell. Open circuit means there is no current drawn from the cell. Right? So now we will describe this situation in the form of a mathematical expression. So same diagram I will draw it again. The cell of EMF E, positive electrode, negative electrode, this is the direction of EMF. So as and when you draw a cell, remember children, you draw like this. It means that inside the cell the direction of EMF will be from negative electrode to positive electrode. Outside it is from positive to negative. Okay, right. Now it has got a small internal resistance R. This R can be 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm. As you go on using this cell continuously, the internal resistance value will be increasing. This is the reason why after using the remote for quite a long time, it will not function, because the internal resistance of the cell will be increasing from inside. Therefore, the current that is coming out will be very less, so it cannot drive the circuit. Now, so this box item which is in the dotted line is nothing but my cell. Now I am connecting a load. This is known as what? Capital R. So now this will draw a current from the cell I. So this is I. It will go like this. It will go like this. It will go like this. This is I. Fine. Now, so as current I is flowing here, there is a potential drop across this resistor, which is known as what? V equals to I into R. So how much potential is dropped across this resistor means it is nothing but Ohm's law, V equals to IR. Okay, right. So now you can see that this R and R are in series. When do we say resistors are in series? When the same current flows in the resistors, they are said to be in series. So how much current is flowing in capital R? The same current is flowing in small r also. So R and R are in what? Series. How many sources are there? Only one source. So current is nothing but I equals to E divided by R plus R. Current I is nothing but Ohm's law only. Again, V equals IR, I equals V by R. But we don't take V because it is not the resistor that is driving the circuit. It is the battery that is driving the circuit. So if you want more clear explanation, then I write it as net current equals to EMF divided by net resistance. Net resistance. So I equals to EMF E divided by small r plus capital R. Cross multiply this. I capital R plus I small r equals to E, symbol of EMF. I capital R is known as V, the terminal potential difference, plus IR equals to E, or V equals to E minus IR. Sorry. Small r, this is. Very important equation this. So the terminal potential difference will be always less by an amount IR. I repeat, the terminal potential difference will be always less than EMF by an amount IR. Okay, right. So basing on this only, we have developed these graphs. Very important graph. Draw a graph showing the variation of EMF with load connected. Load connected means 1 bulb, 2 bulb, 3 bulb, 4 bulb. EMF will remain same. Okay. But what is the change you can see? You can see the change in what? This potential difference. Terminal potential difference. Terminal potential difference across this combination will be going on increasing linearly at the beginning, and then what? It will be getting saturated. And it will never exceed the value of what? EMF. So this is one of the important question for 2 marks. Distinguish between EMF and potential difference of a cell. Okay, right. So this graph, you remember EMF versus R and EMF versus voltage versus R. Then define internal resistance and what are the factors on which internal resistance of a cell depends. Internal resistance is nothing but resistance offered by the electrolyte to the motion of ions inside it. That's all, very simple. On what factors it depends? It depends on nature of electrolyte. What does it mean? What is the meaning of nature? Electrolyte concentration, electrolyte's temperature. These are the things which can matter for internal resistance. The second one is the distance between the electrodes. If electrodes are far away from each other, ions have to swim a long distance, therefore they have to encounter more and more resistance. Right? And then third one is shape of the electrodes. You have got 2 types of electrodes. One is a rectangular shaped flat electrodes, like a copper sheet like this. Okay. Other is cylindrical electrodes like this pen. Zinc rod rods generally. So smaller the surface area, smaller will be the internal resistance. This is the relation between area and the internal resistance. Okay, right. So then, in order to obtain an increased EMF or increased value of EMF, you have to go for the combination of the cells. Combination of cells. Now, cells can be connected in two ways. Number one, series combination. Number two, parallel combination. Now you take series combination first. So let me write it very clearly. Cells in series. For our easiness, we consider only two cells of EMF E1 and E2 with internal resistances R1 and R2 respectively. So here you have a cell plus minus direction of EMF E1 and it has got a small internal resistance R1. Connected to this in series, we have another cell of EMF E2, direction of EMF is like this, plus minus, and it has got another small internal resistance what R2. Of course, these two will be connected across a load. Right. So this cell will be sending the current in this direction because away from positive terminal. This also will be sending the current away from this. It is like this. So this is, now as these two are in series, what should happen? They should have the same current. So therefore, this is the same current I will flow in the circuit. Okay. But if you see these 2 points, between these 2 points you have a terminal voltage of V1, and between these 2 points there will be terminal voltage what V2. They are in series, voltage will be different, like resistors only. Therefore, we write it as V equals to V1 plus V2. So what is V? V is nothing but E minus IR. So this will be E1 minus IR1 plus E2 minus IR2. So this is E1 plus E2 together and minus I into R1 plus R2